Just 1 week after James Madison absolutely dominated Elon.
Impressive stuff.
Have yet another very, very good test ahead of them. Stony Brook is up next. JMU making the trek up that way. And that's where I think we should start this week.
Let's do it.
You know, I made a little joke when I published the preview of this one to the site. I went with the Spider-Man meme where he's pointing at the other Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's good.
But for real, Stony Brook through 5 games, 245 run plays. JMU, 247.
Okay.
264.6 rushing yards per game for Stony Brook. That's number 8 in the FCS. 256 for JMU, number 12. 5.4 yards per carry to 5.2, respectively. And 4 different guys for Stony Brook have carried it at least 28 times. All of them have scored. On the JMU side, you're looking at 5 different guys with at least 18 carries. All of them over $145. All of them have scored.
Dang.
Which is to say, both teams are running the ball at will, and both teams are doing it with a stable in the backfield. And I get that JMU is JMU, but Stony Brook is pretty serious.
No, absolutely. And, you know, they had the Rhode Island game in control last week, and then you give up a kickoff return for a touchdown, you give up an onside kick in a late score, and things kind of start to snowball. And Tyquell Fields with one of the best plays you're going to see this year. 4th and 6, 20 seconds to go. Just takes it 50 yards to the house.
He broke it down in the feature that we have on FloFootball right now, and I love the way he explained it because the way he explains it, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Man coverage, crossing routes, cleared up the middle. I knew I had the first down, and then I was like, oh, shoot, I might have more.
So I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, he's got the first down. All right, now they're in field goal range. Oh, my God, he's going to score. And it was like, holy cow. Like,
yeah.
It was just this slow progression. You know, after everything you just read, it's pretty obvious it's going to come down to rush defense.
Oh, for sure.
And I just trust that JMU front 7 more than Stony Brook at this point. And that's not a slight at Stony Brook because JMU is just maybe the best team in the country. Up
front, I don't think they have a rival at the FCS level up front. They have multiple guys that you're going to be seeing at the NFL level, from Daka to Rondell to, I mean, you could keep going. And then they're also pretty good in that back end too. But, yeah, I'm with you on that. And, again, no disrespect to Stony Brook, because those dudes bring it defensively too, man. That's part of the other piece of this is like they mirror each other offensively in the run game. They also mirror each other defensively with just the overwhelming, powerful defensive attack that smothers the opponent. It's definitely going to be like a who can do it better.
And then the other thing JMU is doing, I shouldn't say JMU, I should say Ben DiNucci is doing really well this year, is he's cut way back on the interceptions, making much smarter decisions. And he's also over 100 yards rushing as well for the year. So
yeah, he is. In fact, he's one of the 5 that I was counting for JMU. He's got 197 yards on 33 carries and a touchdown through 4 games. There you go. So yeah, I think it's basically, immovable object meets. How does that go? A movable object meets an unstoppable force.
Immovable object. Yeah.
Nailed it. Yeah. I think it's that. I think it's the same style on both sides of the ball. Who can do it better?
Yeah.
And maybe it ends up looking just like Elon, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be an awesome game. Speaking of awesome games, Delaware at Pitt was a pretty awesome game last week, man. The Blue Hens gave them all they wanted.
We called that.
I know. I wanted it so bad for them, and they've really rounded back into form after the disappointment against North Dakota State.
Yeah.
Freshman quarterback Nolan Henderson has kind of been a revelation for the Blue Hens. Dude, it's funny. You see him off the field in street clothes, he looks like Clark Kent. But when he steps on the field, dude, is just Superman all of a sudden. He totally gives that offense for Danny Rocco a different dimension. Pat Keogh's my guy. I love him, and he's a great quarterback. But what Henderson is able to do for them offensively and opening up the offense with his ability to move around in the pocket and run, man, he's been fun to watch.
He's such a threat, and is going to be serious problems for the CAA over the next few years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not only, what I like about him so much is obviously he can just take off and run with it, but he throws so well on the run. That one throw against North Dakota State,
dime.
Oh
dude.
My gosh!
You know what was funny is after the
right
game,
in front of you too. You could see.
Yeah, I mean,
you could see on the stream.
Credit to me for being the first one to signal touchdown. I saw it first.
Yeah.
Definitely had his feet in. And it's funny after the game in the press conference, he was like, I made that more difficult on him than I had to. And I'm like, man, there aren't 10 quarterbacks in the country that make that throw.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
Dime.
Anyway, speaking of Nolan, lucky enough to catch up with him today. So here is that interview. Hey Nolan, let's start out with the thing that I feel like Coach Rocco goes to the most when he's talking about whether it be you or Will Knight. You're a local product, nearby Smyrna, Delaware. Am I saying the name of that town right? Let's start there. Okay, got it. Awesome. Good job by me. And you stay home, you play for the Blue Hens. What's the relationship like with the state of Delaware and UD? Was it something where you grew up wanting to be a Blue Hen, knowing that you wanted to be a Blue Hen?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, I had season tickets to UD games back in the Flacco days. So I've always had a connection with UD, and this is our state's professional team. Everybody takes their football serious here. So I was actually during the recruiting process, I wanted to actually go away. I didn't really want to stay home, but then I visited all the schools, and I really realized how nice of a school and how great the resources were here.
Yeah, well, it's safe to say that I think the Delaware fans are glad that you made the choice that you made. And I just think it's really cool. You grow up going to games at a program. You have the opportunity to step in for that program. And the fact that you're the caliber player that you are doesn't hurt anything. I think I may have called you a redshirt freshman at one point or another. I can't remember where. I was just thinking about it today. So if and when you read or see me call you a freshman, apologies. You're a sophomore. Played a little bit last year. But you really kind of announced that you were for real against arguably the best team in the country in North Dakota State when they came to town a few weeks ago. Obviously, you hate to lose, but what was that moment like for you, stepping in and having success against a program like that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you come in when you're down, it's not what you're looking for. But I just wanted to make the most of it, and I was trying to preach to everybody to finish. We were down, but I wanted everybody to finish the game, and our whole team has that mindset of no matter what, we're going to finish. So I just wanted to go in there and play, play some football, have some fun. And, I ended up playing well. We ended up scoring some points and bringing some positive things into the next week.
No doubt. It really didn't get any easier for you either. I mean, obviously Penn comes to town. You guys handle your business against Penn. But then you're on the road against Pitt. And you go for 124, 2 touchdowns, completing 62% of your throws. Since you took over the job, and 7 touchdowns against no picks. First of all, what was the challenge of playing a team like Pitt, an FBS team with the 85 scholarships on the road in that type of environment? What was that like? And what has enabled you to have the type of success that you've had early on against some really good opponents?
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely a great defense, a great team overall, fast, big. We knew that coming in, but I felt like we believed in ourselves and knew we had a chance. And it came down to the wire. We didn't get it done, but I feel like we did a lot of things well, a lot of things we need to work on. But ultimately, I just think I have a lot of help around me, some great receivers, great blockers, and a great coordinator to put me in good situations. So I'm just making the right throws, trying to make the right decisions, and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, more often than not, it has. I think, and I said as much. I think that you bring an element to the offense that really makes you guys dynamic in that you're able to, run or throw. And maybe dual threat quarterback wasn't something that people may have expected if they didn't know any better when they look at you. But, I mean, it was a bad joke, but I made the joke that you look like Clark Kent in street clothes, and when you step on the field, you got the S on your chest, man. You turn into Superman. What element of your game do you think is most effective at this level, kind of neutralizing the way the defense has been able to play you guys in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm able to extend plays. You might stop our initial attempts, but I can, get out of the pocket and try to make a play out of nothing. So, I mean, with that, I just got to stay smart in doing that. But I feel like that's something that, kind of, keeps defenses honest and makes them play a full 60-minute game.
Yeah, there were 2 such plays when we were in town. So 2 things, actually. First of all, when we were in Newark to watch y'all play a couple of weeks ago, the pass that you threw, you were rolling to your left across your body. I don't know what it was, 50, 60 yards in the air. and your man makes an incredible diving catch right at the pylon right there. I want you to know that I called that a touchdown way before the referee. So you're welcome, because I put 6 on the board for you guys. It's the least I could do. But that was a hell of a throw, man. That was the moment where I realized, okay, this kid is not a joke. Like, he's for real. But I heard you say after the game, of all the things that you could have said, you said I made it a little too difficult on him. Explain to me the bar with which you hold yourself to, the excellence that you expect out of yourself, because I think that you've impressed so many people so far, but when I watch your demeanor on the field, it doesn't feel like you're satisfied at all.
No, I'm never feeling satisfied. I mean, that came just from, my younger days of always trying to chase perfection. And even in wins, I feel like you can find things that you could do better. Like that particular play, I could have made that a lot easier on Chi. He made a great catch in the corner of the end zone. So,
most quarterbacks would have just thrown it out of bounds, man.
Yeah, not me. Not me.
No, not you. That was one of my favorite plays of the year, and I think it will probably be one of my favorite plays of the year all the way to the end. Second thing, little bone to pick with you because, again, we're in Delaware. We're there to shoot the all-access. We're going to practice. We're doing all the things. And you didn't let me know that you were about to put fear into the hearts of every CAA defensive coordinator while we were there. So we weren't really prepared for it, and we had to just inject some shots of you doing your thing into the all-access piece. Next time I come to Delaware, will you please just let me know before you go off so that we can, prepare accordingly?
Yeah, I'll try to next time.
Okay, I appreciate that. Hey, man, I know you got some meetings to get to, so I'll let you get out of here. Best of luck to you and the Hens the rest of the way, and I'm looking forward to watching you not just this year, but the next couple of years. Thank you to Nolan for taking the time to hang out with us a little bit today. And, of course, thanks to my guy Scott Day at Delaware for setting that thing up. Kyle, the last thing I want to touch on today is just the remarkable run that Villanova is on right now.
It's incredible.
I feel like every week we're talking about him again. Here comes Nova. Here comes Nova. Last week we get Justin Covington on the show, which was awesome. I love that guy. And then we have a feature on Daniel Smith on FloFootball.com. Really well-written article by Kyle Kinsing. If you missed it, check it out. And then all they do is Smith goes out, throws for 213, a touchdown, runs for 34 and 2 more. Covington goes for $118. Just another day at the office for that guy. And he's leading the FCS with 674 yards at 8.4 yards a carry. Offensively, they are one of the most, if not the most explosive teams in the CAA and in the country. And I just can't say enough good things about them.
I know. Me either. And they kind of been tested. They had obviously the overtime game with Towson, and you expected that main game to be much more difficult. And then all of a sudden, after the first quarter, it's like 21-0.
You blink, it's 30-3.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that is a good main team.
That's a playoff main team.
Yeah, that's a CAA championship main team from last year, a team that almost beat FBS Georgia Southern earlier this year. That's a really good team, and they just made quick work of them. Now this week, kind of a tricky little spot. Go down to William and Mary, a team that is much improved. It is incredible to see what Mike London's been able to do in year one.
Yep.
Almost go on the road and beat Albany 2-3. Both 2 losses to FBS teams.
Yeah, that's the thing. You look at the record and you're like, oh, it's whatever.
Right. Yeah, you lost to Virginia and East Carolina.
If you've been paying attention, William & Mary looks great this year.
Yep, and so you go there a week before hosting JMU. It's like the ultimate trap look-ahead game.
Yep, it is absolutely that.
Because William & Mary is going to be up and ready to go for this. You got a top 5 team coming into your stadium.
Yeah, and it's also a team that they lost to a year ago. So something of a grudge match for Nova as well. That you hope they can channel that maybe to avoid the trap. But man, I think it's going to be a way better game than people realize, and that's no knock to Nova. I wouldn't dare at this point.
Some CAA fans keep chirping us, saying that Nova's going to fall off here soon, and I just don't get that feeling with this team.
Mm-mm.
This ain't.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're new.
Team.
We're new here.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we are.
But I know what good football looks like, and as long as you got 3 in the backfield, I'm feeling pretty good about your chances.
The way Daniel Smith runs that offense, it's just he's a leader.
That's the thing, is he's such a difference maker that no one saw coming. Because we were joking about before the season, Villanova's got 35 quarterbacks trying to win the spot.
7 quarterbacks legit competing for the spot.
And I'm like, that's not a good sign. But turns out it's the transfer that ends up taking the job, and man, he's done a great job with it. What do we have this week in CAA football?
So the James Madison, Stony Brook, Villanova, William and Mary games that we mentioned. U Albany, Richmond trying to get back on track. U Albany going for their third straight win. Elon, New Hampshire is a really interesting one. New Hampshire started off a little slow. Now have won 2 in a row, kind of found their groove. Elon looking to bounce back.
Nice. All that live on FloFootball.com or FloFootball.com and the Flo Sports app this week. It's got a new look, new logo. We did put some fresh paint on it.
Yeah, and we're announcing, like, I'm supposed to be doing it right now, but I'm on this podcast. Android app.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Boom.
Flo Sports.
There it was, breaking
Android
news.
App.
So check it out. Watch your favorite team. Watch your favorite team's rival. Watch your favorite team's rival's rival. Keep up with all of it every week, live on Flo. And that was Colonial time.
Loved it.